Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming out tonight. My name is John Fatuzzo. I am one of the band directors here at Gilderland High School. I'd like to welcome you to our first music department performance of the 2024-25 school year, and it features our 8th grade band from Farnsworth Middle School and our high school bands. Really excited to have a full house here tonight with so many musicians on stage and in the seats. This is actually always one of my favorite performances in the school year for a couple reasons. One, that the 8th graders that are right next to me and behind me here, they'll get to, after their performance is over, get to witness the sounds from the groups that they'll hear in the high school and hopefully be a part of as soon as next year and maybe even for the next 4 years after that, but also for the high school students to have a kind of a reminder, walk down memory road of what it was like to be in the 8th grade a couple of years ago. How many of you remember this concert that you performed when you were in 8th grade, right? And how far we've come since then, and all the support that we've gotten from our teachers and from our parents and families to get to where we are today. So it's a really fun performance experience for all of us. A couple of important thank yous that I want to shout out before we get to the jazz ensemble here first. Our Gilderland Music Parents and Friends Association, they've got a table out in the lobby. They have been just incredibly supportive of our program, especially the band program over these last couple weeks and months. If you are not a member, I highly encourage you to consider speaking with them about how to become one to continue supporting our program here. And of course to Mr. Andy Maycock and his whole tech team for helping with the lights, sound, and recording for recording technology for tonight's concert. So round of applause to thank you for all those folks to make this happen. The group that's down here in the pit is the High School Jazz Ensemble, and this group has been very lucky to have been coached by a student teacher that we've been working with from the Crane School of Music at SUNY Potsdam. So I would like to introduce them to you now, Coyne Connolly and the High School Jazz Ensemble.
Hello and good evening. My name is Coyne Connolly. I've had the honor and pleasure of working with many of the bands you'll hear tonight for the past 5 weeks. Since day one, we were working on the tune you'll hear in a second. You'll hear solos from Adam Horalchik on trombone, as well as Toby Weiss and Sam Wu on trumpet with a little trumpet battle. So stay tuned for that. This is Mambo Natural.
Good evening. No.
Check 1, 2.
Good evening and welcome to our concert. Can we get another round of applause for that amazing jazz ensemble? Our first song features an amazing horn section, Kayvon Poland and Zach Kennedy. This dynamic work from Michael Sweeney is written in 3 contrasting sections. The opening lament features a mournful horn melody and dissonant harmonies. The mood then shifts to an intensely rhythmic dance using unusual modal scale. In the final section, there is a surprise waiting for you. You'll hear an instrument performed, one of the band members learned before their current instrument. A driving percussion ostinato figure helps us propel this magnific place into a dramatic ending.
Glacier Express is one of Switzerland's most famous railway excursion trains, running since 1930. This 7-hour train ride connecting Zermatt and St. Moritz treats passengers to spectacular scenery of mountains, glaciers, lakes, rivers, grassy valleys, forests, and quaint Swiss villages. This trip also takes passengers over 291 bridges and through 91 tunnels. Although modern, it travels at a slow speed because at times it requires a cog rail to help it make the grade. Our next song, Glacier Express, depicts the train on its journey in various seasons and terrains. The brief introduction portrays the grandeur of the mountain scenery as the train departs from the station. Soon after, the train is traversing the route in winter through pelting snow and ice. The middle section portrays the bucolic mountain meadows and valleys in summer. In this section, there is a trumpet solo performed by Daniel Wu. The next fast section, a recap of the first, now takes place in much better weather, leading to the majestic ending depicting the majestic Alps. We know you will enjoy this programmatic song.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you again for coming out. I'd like to thank the high school band directors for inviting us to this concert. It's always a wonderful concert, and they get to hear the great acoustics of this wonderful auditorium, and they get to meet the high school band teachers, and they get to see the performances of the students that they're going to be joining next year. So it's a great performance overall. It's nice to have them meet the band teachers, and they'll come down to the middle school as well and work with them a little more, so they get to meet them even more. If you remember 3 years ago, these guys were in 5th grade, and they were worried about going to the middle school, and they were in good hands. They realize that now. They came to the middle school, they had a wonderful experience, and now they're exiting it, and they have that same fear going into the high school. And what I have to say to you is you're in good hands. You have a great principal here. You have great band directors that will be your leaders, your guide, people that you can depend on, and you'll have hundreds of music students that have already been in the same shoes as you, and you can rely on them as well. You'll be joining the music family at the high school. I'm very proud of this group. They did a great job. They told them their first concert's in 2 months, and they're like, what do you mean 2 months? And I was like, yeah, this one's a quick one. So buckle up and get ready. And I said I chose some difficult songs. That last one just had so many different entrances. They were like counting. You can see them counting. You could just see it, even though they're not physically doing it with their hands or anything. You could just see that they're counting, because there was so many different entrances. Usually Easy Music is all block score, and everybody comes in at the same time, and then all of a sudden they get this song, and they're all coming in at different times, and it's a little scary to be confident to come in all those times. But they did a wonderful job with it. I'm very proud of them. We have some strong leaders in here. I would like to point out a few leaders. NISPTA organization, New York State Band Directors Association, forms an honor band each year, and they take the best students of New York, and they form a band with those students, and you have to get in based on your NISPTA level and score, and you're lucky to make one student into this ensemble per year, and this year we got 5 students in, so I'm really impressed with Farnsworth. Yeah, thank you. Two of those students are 7th graders. I'm sure they'll be announced at the 7th grade concert as well, but Elisa Sikander and Andrew Padula, 7th graders, made it. Our 3 8th graders that made it are Kriti Sethi on oboe. Stand up, please. And Daniel Wu on trumpet. And Amma Padula on bassoon. Without further ado, Glacier Express.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the symphonic band portion of our concert. My name is Greg Clark. I'm the symphonic band director, and this is a lot of fun to do. I've had a great time working with this group. I'll talk about them a little more later. But what a night, and I'm thrilled that we have so many people here to share this music with us. Our first piece is by American composer Ayatai Shabazz. It's called Zoom. He's originally from Mississippi, and he's a contemporary composer. He's still making music all the time, so you're going to hear some sounds that are not old-fashioned. This is some very creative, very energetic writing, really beautiful stuff. I know you're going to enjoy it. Here's Zoom. these guys are so fun. I was thinking about this before. This is a really fun line of work to be in for me. I get to spend every day making music with young people, and that's really an outstanding situation in life. This year especially, I remember seeing this group of 8th graders who are now 9th graders, who are now well into 9th grade, in this concert last year and thinking to myself like, oh man, I can't wait. I was right. My goodness, they're fun to work with. It's every day that we come in for band. It's positivity, it's energy, it's enthusiasm, it's dedication to doing the right thing and building good habits, and it's been an absolute joy so far this year. So thank you so much to you, the families, the community, for valuing music in your children's lives and encouraging them to continue even when it gets tough, and for making sure that this is something you prioritize and they prioritize. So thank you to all the families, including mine, and we get to do very special things. So one more thing I wanted to mention. Earlier you met Coyne Connolly when they conducted the jazz ensemble. Coyne is back here helping out with our percussion as well, filling in some gaps. And I just wanted to say a special thank you because these last 5 weeks have been really wonderful together. So thank you. Our last piece is by a second American composer, Robert Sheldon. Robert Sheldon writes a ton of wonderful band music. This one comes in 3 movements, so you'll hear a kind of fast, bouncy one at the beginning. I like to say this one feels kind of like Hobbits. And then there's a slower one in the middle and another quicker one at the end. So please hold your applause until the end of the final movement. And it has been a pleasure sharing music with you tonight. Thank you so much.
Good evening. Hello. Thank you all for being here with us this evening. It really is just such a privilege to have such a great audience to hear all this wonderful music. As you no doubt have heard, we have an incredibly strong band program here in Guilderland. That starts with our elementary teachers. It continues on with our awesome middle school teachers and culminates here with our great high school teachers. And this is our top ensemble in the district, our wind ensemble. And if you haven't yet heard, in just 2.5 short weeks, they are going to be performing at the NISMA Conference All-State in Rochester, New York. To compare it to athletics for a moment, this is like going to a state championship for any sports team. This is the highest honor an ensemble can get in New York State. So we are so fortunate, and I am really looking forward to that. So that's going to be on December 6th in Rochester, New York, if you're not doing anything. So I would love to introduce you to their coach, the maestro, Mr. John Fatuzzo.
Thank you so much, Mr. Winans. The group that's standing behind me right now is our audition group here. They meet every other day at the high school, and there's nothing more that I could say that adds on top of the wonderful things that Mr. Winans said about what this group has accomplished and what they're going to do in a couple weeks' time. We are going to do just do a little quick warm-up and tune for you. This group hasn't played in quite a while at this point, so we're just going to do a quick warm-up and tune here for you all. And the first piece on our program, it was really important for me to program something for this upcoming conference and concert by a younger living composer that our students could connect with. Mr. Guamna, DeRoja Guamna, teaches out in Iowa, and he was able to actually do a live Zoom call into a rehearsal with this group last week. So we got to hear from the composer himself about the music that he wrote, and he sends his regards, by the way, and wishes us the best for tonight. So we're looking forward to playing his music. This tune called Dreamer's Overture, what he tried to explain to the group is when he wrote this, it was one of the first pieces he ever composed. And it was a piece that was built off the evolution of a dream. Realizing your dream, what it feels like to wake up from that dream, what it feels like to chase that dream, and when we have setbacks in chasing that dream, how does that feel? And then eventually the doubt that seeps in from that, and how you overcome that and eventually, realize and fulfill that dream. So I think you'll hear all those different characters come out. We're going to take some tuning pitches and play a little quick scale, and then you're going to hear Dreamer's Overture by DeRoja Guamna. Thank you. emphasis on our program, I consider this to be kind of the main course of our program here, a real true classic for the wind band wind band ensemble, I should say. Very difficult individually, very difficult to put together as the ensemble. It's basically, if I had to break the whole thing down, it's a composer taking a very familiar and simple tune, this shaker melody that we've heard, the Simple Gifts tune, and kind of preparing it for us in very unexpected ways. And that creates a lot of challenges for our group that are really, really great for them to develop as musicians, but have been kind of the bulk of our rehearsals. It's been a lot of fun and very intense in getting to work on this with them. I'm really, really proud of their work on this, and I hope you enjoy this real staple of wind ensemble repertoire. This is John Zadeklich's Chorale and Shaker Dance. A little audience education here. These lights get really, really hot, and the hotter it is on stage, the pitch in the instruments goes up and up and up and up. So we take those tuning pitches from Austin here between each pitch to make sure the whole group's intonation can settle. So thank you for your patience on that. It's just to help these kids sound a whole lot better on their hard work. Last piece on our program for tonight is a real fun one, I would probably say. It's the ensemble's favorite too, Sol y Sombra, which translates to sun and shade. And that name comes from the practice of when you buy tickets for a Spanish bullfighting event, you can get special tickets that have you both in the sun and in the shade, depending on where the sun is moving over the course of the event. So I think that by the different characters of each section, you'll be able to tell which ones are the sun and which ones are the shade. So we hope we can bring that character out. This has been a whole lot of fun to work on, especially with our guest conductor who we had last week, Mr. Charles Peltz from the Glens Falls Symphony. Did amazing work with these kids. And how about a round of applause for the great job they're going to be doing in Rochester in a couple of weeks? While I have the microphone, I just want to publicly thank all the folks that have made this possible. I think the greatest feat of all about taking this group out to Rochester is not because they're going to be getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to catch a coach bus here from the high school, but because every single student on this stage is going to be able to attend this trip. And that is in large part thanks to the help from the Gilder Music Parents and Friends Association, the fundraisers that the group have been pulling off, and of course, the support from our parents. I could not be in a better place that supports our music program. So thank you all for letting me abscond with this amazing band and go make some beautiful music in Rochester. Thank you very much for coming out tonight. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you at Pops, all right? Thank you, everybody.